Hi parents, Dr. Rachel here. Imagine every time your child experiences just a slight temperature change or just gets around another child that has the sniffles, they suddenly get congested or jammed up. And this is really the reality for many parents out there. And if you're a parent whose child constantly gets congested, stuffy, has nasal passage jams, they're not draining, you have Kleenex everywhere, a humidifier, you have everything going on, no, you're not alone. There are so many kiddos that struggle with this, and that's what we want to talk about in this video. Because oftentimes nasal congestion isn't as simple as it sounds. It's oftentimes the gateway to so much more going on with the immune system. In fact, this was the case with a kiddo named Braxton. Every time Braxton got that stuffy nose or congestion, mom got extremely worried because she knew that that was just the start of it. That was the start of things getting worse, of settling in the nasal passageway, of it affecting the ears and causing ear infections, to then starting to drain down and causing the sore throat and the upper bronchial infections into the lungs, and sometimes even pneumonia in the worst case scenarios. So this was at weeks at a time of the nervous system and the immune system brewing struggles and not being able to get out of it, all because it started with nasal congestion. We know if you are a parent that has struggles with this, you have tried the neti pots, the humidifiers, the supplements, all of the above to help your kiddos. So today we want to break down nasal congestion in 3 different ways that really gets to the root cause of it. Now here's what we found. We found that nasal congestion starts with one word, subluxation. Now, if you haven't heard that word, I want to break it down for you. Subluxation happens when there's physical stress, emotional stress, or environmental stress that happens to our body that causes us to get, for lack of a better word, jammed up. What happens first is we get tight or tense, whether it be from the birth process, whether it be from a fall, a physical trauma, from sports or activities, from a little kid jumping off the couch, falling when they're learning to walk. All these things, especially right up here, cause a misalignment and a fixation in this upper cervical, upper neck area that then causes drainage to really stop. Now, the upper cervical, upper neck is really high up. It's right by our sinus cavities. So then if we get exposed to a little virus, we get exposed to a weather change, and we suddenly start to keep the fluid in our face right here, and it can't get passed into the lymph, into our neck, that's where a little bit of exposure to a virus, a little bit of exposure to a bacteria in that season of struggle is going to cause that to turn into full-blown congestion and oftentimes an immune challenge. Because they're misaligned and fixated, the body simply isn't able to drain that fluid out and get it out quick enough for the body to respond to it. And that's really the second key point, is when the body can't get that fluid out because it's subluxated, because it's misaligned, because it's stuck up here, then the nervous system can't respond in the right way. It doesn't truly know how to fight for the whole body and really kick that sickness. And this is so often why we want kiddos to kick it quick, right? What should happen is you get a little congested, the body starts to drain, it activates the lymph tissue and it starts to go down. We start to get it out. We start to cough, it starts to move down and go into the gut and move through within 1 or 2 days. Oftentimes maybe accompanied with a little bit of a fever too, but it's a 1 or 2 day process. It's not a week or two where nasal congestion is the start of a bigger immune struggle all the way down to even pneumonia like Braxton, who we talked about earlier. So getting to that root cause is key, and making sure that there's alignment in that upper cervical spine, making sure there's no misalignment or fixation there so the nervous system can drain it, it can respond to it, it can fight it in the right ways. If this is something new to you, we totally understand. We see many patients that have tried absolutely everything. Like I said, from neti pots to the humidifier to all the supplements. They've tried it, over the counter included, and here's the truth. If you've tried all those things, it's probably something else. And it's probably subluxation up here that's causing the body not to work together, causing it to not be able to drain and not be able to signal appropriately. So if you have questions on this, we would love for you to check out the article that's going to be linked in our bio on nasal congestion so you can read more about it. We'd love for you to ask any questions you might have. We'd love to dig into your child's health, because chances are that subluxation is what's tying that nasal congestion in, and that was probably caused by a trauma that happened either at birth or when they were just running around, being physical, being a kid, and just growing up. And so we would love to dig into that so we can help them with really the catalyst that we find in so many immune struggles, especially as we get to seasonal changes and school changes, to help them be able to kick that on their own and thrive this fall. Hope this video finds you well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.